Well, commiserations, Michael, but that hot streak in Britain has to return sometime.
Yeah, of course. You know, after the first round tonight, I just didn't have it. It's, you know, but I have to be careful how I go about what I say here, because, you know, you can say, oh, I didn't do it right at the scales, I was struggling to make, I could say many things, but you can't take away from what Ricky's just done. He's champion, and he's done a great job, and I'm not a sore loser like that. He's done great, fantastic, and all the credit to him.
Without saying anything to take away from Ricky's performance, you have thought that junior welterweight now come back down to lightweight.
Yeah.
Did that impact on your preparation?
I think so. That was the question mark. I said it in the press conference earlier. There was always that question there about the weight, and after the first, I just well, the first thing I got was a perforated eardrum, so I had no communication with my corner all the way through it, and then Ricky just worked it just perfectly. He fought a very smart fight, and yeah, he did. It was an excellent job that he did, and you know, I can't take it away from him, and you know, I wouldn't say it was exactly the most exciting fight where everyone would just be screaming to see it again. But
I don't know about that.
Oh, really? Oh, well, if anyone can do it, Frank can. So, I mean, I'd love to make that one again, but you know, it's will he fight me again? Yeah, you know. Well, look, I think in last year, I don't think he would have went the distance with me. But that last year's last year, now is now, and now he's coming up. He's done well, and can't take away. He's a great opponent. He's done excellent.
What about the future for you?
Well, like I said, I think I really, the question mark was, can I fight at lightweight? And you know, I did my best. I did everything right, and then. Look, on the night, I just was very tired after the first. I just felt like I'd fought 8 rounds after the first round. Look at all my other fights. It's just progressively at lightweight, I'm just not performing. Whereas my last fight at junior welter, I've knocked the guy out with a just clean shot. I seem to be in control. So, you know, I think maybe junior welter might be better suited for me. But hey, this is Ricky's night. He's done well. It's his title, and he won it concisively. Oh yeah, I felt like I had a very good roll on throughout the fight, and I was in a very good position. I had the right tactic to do it, except for I couldn't hear during the right times when I needed to, and I was delivering a few shots, and then because I'd know every time I delivered a few shots, he'd go with a shot and I'd roll under, and I just didn't have the legs to get to the spot I wanted to deliver the final. To deliver the blow that I needed to put him out. So that really hurt my game, but not having the legs there, and so.
I think Ricky really done. I mean, they, like everybody when they got a fight, they studied their opponents and they done their homework. And I think he utilised early on in the fight. He was using his jab well, good straight shots, and he was catching uppercuts. And I think when he's on the ropes, when his back was on the ropes, you know, it was like he used that at times to his advantage.
To breathe.
Turned you, got round. You know, let that left hook go every time.
Yeah. So he recovered well.
Yeah.
I mean, he'd go back on ropes and
you know, it was fought at a fast, very fast pace to fight. And I thought Ricky, you also got to take into consideration, fellas, that he could come up a weight. It's his first fight at lightweight. And you look at the size of the two guys in the ring, you know, you're much bigger, naturally bigger guy than Ricky. And I thought Ricky really boxed superbly and intelligently, and showed, you don't become double world champion if you can't fight.
Have you seen Ricky fight better?
Well, I thought he did well against Martinez. I mean, Martinez was a good puncher, tough fighter, and he completely negated him, didn't he? I mean, he must have been 33-1 against in that fight with certainly when he on the other side of the pond. No one gave him a chance. I think today he was more he boxed much more intelligently. And I know Brendan and Michael and the team, they're fabulous to work with, but they prepare properly. They're proper professional approach, are professional in everything they do, and you know whatever's going to happen, that, you know, this guy's coming in, you know, in tip-top condition. And I don't know what, you know, you're saying that, you know, you never had it in the tank. I mean, your work rate was phenomenal.
Yeah.
You've got such an engine inside you, and I don't think anybody can take that away from you.
You think you'll heighten Ricky Bond's profile in your own country and maybe back?
Well, we hope so. I mean, you know, maybe he's going to become a Londoner now. Who knows? I mean, he got a great reception down here, fabulous reception, and you know, for Billy Nelson, it's like his homecoming. We're taking him back down to Southend tonight and won't keep him down. But it was, I thought it was a really, you know, I think they've done their homework well. They are as professional as these guys are. You know, you look and see what happens, certainly in recent weeks. And after a couple of fighters, how they behaved and not, you know, done it how they should have done it. And then you look at these guys. This is why they got long careers. This is why they, you know, why they got the respect they have in the game, and they could do something massive. I think, you know, both these guys are like a credit to the sport.
He's a gentleman, Ricky. There's no crap to him. He's a straight shooter, and you know, can't take it away from him. He's done fantastic.
Michael, after the result, how important, I guess, is your next move now?
Look, I think, you know, we have to go to the drawing board again. Obviously, I'm very disappointed with that. You know, like, if a guy ever sat on the ropes like that in the past, I would have blissed him out of there, and I just didn't have it there. It just wasn't there. So I don't care. Ricky Burns, he did great, fantastic. He wouldn't be there. Simple as that. There won't be a rematch. I don't think they'll want to have the rematch again. And lightweight is my weight. Hey mate, what a feat. Yeah. Excellent.
Good on you, mate. Well done. Thank you. Billy, thank you, mate.
The better the guy in front of me, the better I'm going to be. At the end of that 12th round, the first thing I said to Mike, I've got most respect for him. Didn't give me a minute, kept coming forward. Just as tough as we expected, but again, I said in the build up to this, that we've prepared for that, with the sparring wise. But I've always said the better the guy in front of me, the better I'm going to be.
Think the plan at 5 minutes?
Sorry?
Think the plan at 5 minutes?
Again, I treat every fight the same. I just go out and do the job, and that's just the way I always look at it.
Ricky, when you went to bed last night, did you even prepare for the fight that you fought tonight?
I don't really, because I've been doing it for so long now, honestly, see, when I say I keep it as my job, that is the way I see it. And I've always said, when I tell people that I'm not scared to get beat either, that's how my attitude is. I would fight anything at all. If you get beat, it's not the end of the world, it's about getting in and you give it your all, which in 2 years done there. But again, cracking fights, and I hope the fans enjoyed it.
How does it feel? Double world champion, 2 weights?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't feel any different to before I went to the first world title. Everybody knows me, I'm just a quiet guy. I like to keep myself to myself. Steve Michael, 2 nice guys, but as I said before the fight, once we stepped in that ring, the 2 A's didn't get it at all. And at the end of the day, that's what boxing's all about, you know, and putting on a show.
You said last week, you said you thought that you would surprise a few people with the power that you bring up to this weight. You think you did that tonight? I proved a lot of people wrong, especially when you were going on the internet and things, and I think people were writing in the papers to say that Michael was going to walk all over me. The only people that didn't know that was obviously me and my team. We knew that the better the guy in front of me, the better I'm going to be. We know that right now with me every day in the gym. I've got Ali Morrison, Frank Vaughan who believe in me. Again, I've never let them down. No matter who they're putting in front of me, I'll always keep them home. That's what it's all about. And Mick, were you surprised by the power that Ricky possessed?
No, not really. I mean, I'm like a lot of the shots they don't really hurt. He did some pretty good body shots.
That left hook to the body was...
Yeah, he had a good left hook to the body. I was holding my elbow a bit high. Mainly I wasn't communicating with the corner. So hey, he's done great. He's been a great champion, and he's done fantastic. Let's fight again. as soon as possible.
A rematch in Glasgow.
What's your assessment from the corner right now?
Beg your pardon, mate?
What's your assessment of the fight from the corner?
As Michael said earlier, the first round when he come back, he was very tired. So we'll look over a few things and go from there. But how he performed after that, I thought he'd done a great job. Michael give it his all, and he come back into the fight. I thought he'd done a great job, and for a guy that was very tired from the first round, he come on really good. So look, and the main thing, win, lose or draw in this sport, we're sitting here, we're healthy, and that's what it's all about. So, you know, look, winners are grinners, but look, we're happy, I'm happy, he's here, he's healthy, he's safe, so that's the main thing.
Ricky, two great performances against Martinez and Michael tonight. Is it possible for you to rate one above the other?
Both of them were hard fights. Obviously, Michael gave his all, he was in my face constantly. Again, there was times in that fight, obviously my jab, because I felt that was the key punch in the fight tonight. He was walking me out, but there was times, obviously, when he was coming forward, I had no option but to try and stand in front of him. That's how you see the state of my jaw. That was for the first round, by the way. That's how my jaw's sort of out like that. But again, no, great fight, and that's what it's all about.
Frank, inevitably for you, the question is always, what's next for Ricky?
Well, I'd like him to have a next fight, and I'd like him to be up in Scotland. Talk about when.
All right, I'll go. Fine, okay. I'll fight a lightweight again.
And we, you know, who knows? Who knows? You know, option, but we're talking about that.
I'll even wear a kilt for you.
He needs now to have a rest and a nice bit of a break over Christmas and New Year's, you know. And then we'll get back into it.
What opportunities you see now, making that a live exhibition?
I said it was so much more comfortable for me moving up. So one more than the make weight. When I say
At the end.
the last couple of defensive doubles was really struggling. But I think people can see with the size of my frame and that in there. I'm still big for a lightweight as well. So
Yeah, I'll ask him if they've got any more questions.
How pleased are you being able to work with the gym and say operations tonight?
Frank, do you want any more questions with Michael, or can we go back and we'll get a bit of water in? All right, mate. Now, where do we see Andy for the...
He's in the office downstairs.
And that's when?
It's in the... If you go down the dressing rooms,
yeah,
it's near the dressing room. It's like one of those doors in the
Ricky, can you move up to like Rob?
mate.
When you move up to like Rob, you can stay here for a bit though, yeah?
Okay, I'll give him a call.
I like to see when I've done what I've kept at this level, I want to have 100 fights. That's similar to a lot of boxing. I've always said I will never ever leave it. As long as I'm not getting hit, I'll probably keep fighting late 30s, definitely.
Did you feel there was a bit more snap in your punches as well? Obviously you've been working on that anyway when you were still sub featherful.
Alright.
I think it was just telling with the second half of the fight. I just wasn't feeling as great.
Thanks very much, guys. Thank you.
We have talked about him there.
So it says a lot about still slots and that.
I never met him until the Hong Kong last week, but when seen previously, I knew he was a nice guy, done so really on for one of the big fights up and that was myself, didn't call him in the ring. He is a nice guy, he said before the fight, we didn't need to call him next fight up, we were just going to the 2 hours going in there, we didn't know what we were getting, we were the 2 hours we were getting out.
Ricky, you'll be a bit early to judge. Is there any breakage?
Sorry?
No breakage, no?
No, I already checked out.
Just a wee bit bruising at the muscle, but...
No, it was a sore kipper.
Sorry?
No, it was a sore kipper.
You know, it was the same after the Martinez fight as well, it was the same side as well.
Make sure the big man that side, isn't it?
Lily, you've been involved at a high level now for more than a decade. Rate that performance tonight.
Great performance, it's the best fight. I mean, it's the best fight I've worked with. And as I've said for quite a wee while, people, it's all work and come therapy, he's learning all the time. I mean, you know, it's endless, because I believe we can put a ball type up, right? I know it's a bit premature. I do think he can move up again, because he said it. I mean, he looked massive in that ring tonight. And he's only look at 10-3. You know, he could go up to like about 18 months, 2 years.
Frank, apparently earlier you described a colleague that Victor's performance was expert, hoping to win.
Well, it was, wasn't it, on the ropes? I mean, from where I was sitting, every time he was on the ropes, he'd take so many of Michael's punches on his arms and gloves. Of course, he's got feelings of you, and there were times where he got to, he'd mark you far away and say, 6, 7 shots, and he would take him on the gloves, and then he would clip him with that uppercut or with a hook, and it worked quite a bit during the fight. And I thought it was, the Scottish equivalent of rope-a-dope. That's what he did. It was rope-a-dope.
Frank, you've got a couple of guys in-house that probably be knocking on your door and asking for a shot at Ricky, Murray, Mitchell. Any chance for...
Well, absolutely. John's fighting in December. He's got a tough fight at Madison Square Gardens against Rios. You never know in that. Again, if he's got his mind right, it's a fight that he's got a real good chance of coming away and winning. Kevin Mitchell, once he gets his tag off and he gets his community service done, he's finished career salting those fences, and whatever else he's doing, maybe we can get him back in there. Who knows? He's a silly fellow. What he's done to himself is just like, most people. He's the only guy I know who seems to be doing his best to break into prison. And I think the thing is with him is that it's silly. There's a great fight there between them, great domestic fight, and there's a great domestic fight. And there's a great fight with maybe a local derby up there with the man from Edinburgh. You never know. Why not?
Yeah, definitely delighted. Explosive finish.
It's fighting again in December.
Yeah, next week. Yeah, definitely. You love to keep busy. Yeah, Frank said we'll be out again in December. That's brilliant. I've had a long, hard camp, a good camp, and still need to get rid of that. Didn't quite empty the tank tonight.
Still exposed to finish, excellent combinations in the fight.
Yeah. I just wanted to control him with my jab, take away any sort of attacks that he had. He had a few in the first round, but second round was better. And then once the openings came, I just took them. And the first shot that I threw landed solid, and that was it. It was over. Nah, nothing at all. I think it must have looked much worse than what it was. First round, you're still finding your feet, you're still finding your balance, trying to get your defences tight. Synonymous with me, it happens a lot. So it didn't affect me. I didn't feel it. So it must have just looked worse than what it was. I want to keep busy and I want to be stressed. I want opponents that are going to ask questions of me. Smith's a great fighter. At the start of camp I needed to improve and I have improved. Well, thank you. And then I think everyone saw that tonight. That's an interesting fight. I know I've done a better job than what I've done before with Anderson. and it's up to me to. You know, I got the belts. He's trying to work his way into a mandatory position, so maybe that fight will have to happen. I don't know.
Happy with the second round. He has a world-class jab, and it was world-class from shortly after he turned pro. But he's just learning how to use it, and he used it really well. He used it effectively in the second round to make that distance to then show and do something. First round. I think they were both a little bit uptight actually, and George was the one that ended up throwing shots when he shouldn't have done, got copped, but he has a good chin. I know he's got a good chin. Seen him whacked a lot. Seen him hit enough to know he's got a decent chin. But other than that, no, you know, I'm happy. It was a good win. Paul got caught. Anyone can get caught at the start of a fight, and George can bang. And when you've got two fellas in there that can dig, and someone get caught clean early, that's what happens. And I'm just pleased that it was George.
Great shot. Didn't see it, don't remember it. You know, that's boxing. I called George at the end of the first round, and you know, if that had been, it's all ifs and buts, but if that had been at the early in the round, like I got caught, it might have been a different story. But you know, no excuses from me. I got caught with a clean shot, good shot, powerful kid, strong kid, big puncher, and I got caught and paid the price, and that's off to him. You know, congratulations and good luck to you. I had complaints at the time, but I'm sure if I watch it back I'll probably change my mind. You know, referees are there to do the job, and Victor Loughlin's one of our best referees, and you know, we might to argue, and I got caught and don't remember the shot I got caught because I didn't see it, so it's one of them things. I'm not going to argue with the referees. He's a top referee. I respect him as a referee, and if he says I was in no position, then you know, I've got to take his word for it, and that's that.
George, your last two fights you've beaten two of the best Brits around. Are you still content at the top of the domestic level and Commonwealth? You think?
Yeah, I am content with the belts I've got. I still got to defend them if I want to keep them outright, and that's, you know, that's an ambition that I have. If something bigger and better comes along and it's the right move, then, you know, 100% we'll take it. But on my heart, I'm not in the gym craving something better, because I know as long as I'm improving as a fighter, I'll get there, and I'll get there sooner rather than later. So.
You don't put time frames on it or anything like that?
No, I don't like to put time frames on it. I just like to concentrate on the next task at hand. I've just been concentrating on this fight tonight. I haven't thought about anything, you know, past that point, because when you do that, you end up paying a price for it. So tonight was just about getting the job done. I wanted to do it and try and do it in style. I think I've boxed well tonight. People have seen improvements in me, so hopefully I'll get on to something better.
Is that power, it seems to be developing as you grow older? Do you feel that that's...
Yeah, definitely. You know, when you do strength training, when you do any sort of training, it's an accumulative effect, and I'm not going to reach my peak until, you know, late 20s, maybe even later. So I'm getting stronger month on month, year on year. So that's sort of my side. You know, you can't rush those things. It's just also about being in the gym and improving my boxing technique, and that also takes time. So.
You think you've shown you can move on to the next level, push on properly?
I think so. I've beaten, you know, the top guys in Britain, so I'm happy to fight top guys in Europe now, and then beyond. So just want to keep regular, keep busy.
European champion?
I've already beat that European champion, haven't I? Maybe. I can't keep bashing up poor James Agal. I can't keep taking the titles that he's winning. So I'll let him concentrate on improving. I think his last fight didn't see too much improvement. I think you saw a different side to me tonight, so you have seen improvement from me. My career definitely doesn't revolve around James DeGale, so it's just about finding fights that are going to make me improve as a fighter, and I've already learned how to beat an awkward fiddly southpaw, so fight something else. Yeah, definitely. You never know whether you're going to deal with it, I suppose, until you actually do, and I felt I dealt with it brilliantly. It was the highest type fight I know of, and it had sort of world title status, you know, where it ended up being pay-per-view and sold out the O2 Arena and things like that, and I was the one who dealt with it better than anyone else. So yeah, I think definitely mentally stronger and physically stronger as well.
Was it a big test for you after what happened in that fight against the past opponent? Was it a big test for you when you came through it?
Yeah, exactly. You know, you can't. It's easy winning titles than it is to defend them. So you have to make sure that you're on your game 100%. And as I say, I've been in the gym and I've been making improvements. So it was just important for me to be able to show them tonight. I think I did.
spoke to Joe after the fight. You know, Paul moved up from middleweight to super middleweight, and Joe feels he could go back down to middleweight. I don't know if that's the case, but it's a bit too soon to be talking about things. But
I got the opportunity to fight for my old title against the kids who I felt I could beat. You know, and I took it, and that's that. If whatever we want to do in the gym, you know, I trust Joe 110%, and if he thinks I can do middleweight, I know I can do middleweight. It's just that I can feel strong at it. So if I can do it, I will.
You know, Paul's looking. You know, we've got a very good relationship, and whatever it's going to be, we're going to stick with him and do what we've got to do. It's as simple as that.
It's boxing. I had a decent first round. I caught George with a nice right hand at the end of the first round. You know, that's it. It's all ifs and buts. I got caught with a cracker shot, and that's it. You know, George is a good kid, a good finisher.
You know, the referee, you know, the first punch was tough enough to get up from, and the referee was dead right to certainly stop it. Could have stopped it before, but it was. As Paul said, that's what it is. That's what boxing is. That's what happened, and you're going to move on from that. You will move on from it. And as regarding what's the future as far as George is concerned, well, obviously Adam, George himself, we'll sit down and see where we go. You know, I'm a promotional deal, and obviously as a promoter, the fight I'd like to see is the 3 titles on the line. We talked about that enough times, but that's going to be their decision at the end of the day. But they want to go down the road. If it's not to be that one, then we move on and do something else. Whatever's going to happen, he's going to be busy, and as his promoter, I'll work very hard to ensure that he gets the right moves, the right fights, at the right time.
Adam, I see you flexed your jaw there when the girl's name is...
Too fake.
Alright. Does it wind you up a bit that the girl does keep getting mentioned?
It just means I just keep having to say no, because I want him to improve as a fighter, and the James has got a really specific style that will work against most of the fellas that he fights, because he's used to being that awkward southpaw, won an Olympic gold medal, and so he's effective at it. But you're only going to box. How many times are you going to box somebody like that in his pro career? If he ends up with 35 fights in his pro career, maybe 2 of them will be, maybe 3 of them will be someone like James DeGale. So he's got to move on and progress as a fighter that I want him to be and that he deserves to be. And it's not, if they both keep winning, it's a no-brainer. It becomes a huge fight. I think Frank and I both agreed that the first time it happened was probably a bit too soon for both of them, but it just so happened that they were so exciting together. It was a natural fight to make. But I want George to be the fighter that I think he can be, and he needs to see different styles, not just the same one.
What time frame would that be, Adam?
What?
What time frame would that be?
Don't know. Listen, but Frank's saying that we can get out before Christmas, then it's back to the gym and working on the things we're working on, because he made mistakes in the first round. You can't, if 2 people are punching at the same time, you can't be the one that's higher up with your head, and that's what happened. It's happened before, and he copped the shot. He's got a good chin, but he doesn't need to prove it like that in the first round. So we've got to go back and keep working on things and just improve as a fighter. I'm not interested in talking about that fella at the moment.
Just to speak about another fight, you had David in your corner again. Any signs that he's itching to get back to the ring?
He said that he got butterflies as he's walking into the ring, but it's only down to David. You know, I don't know what he's up to, what he's got planned. He's around here somewhere, so maybe you can ask him yourself.
He's going on a Strictly Come Dance.
It's a wonderful night as well, Frank.
Sorry? Well, I think we've been on a roll, haven't we? You know, I mean, you see some of the best in British boxing over the last, since September. Well, actually, the whole year. You know, when I look back and see all the good fights that have taken place, but it's been phenomenal, and and they just keep coming. And you know, I think Britain's got some of the best fighters out there. I mean, when you look at what we've got and the depth of the talent, you see what's coming through. It's phenomenal, and we've got a lot of fighters to be proud of, and I think can hold their own with most of the guys in the world. You know, Ricky's beaten, you know, to become a double world champion is a bit of a feat. It's a tough call, and he's done it. And beat Martinez in his first fight, which I thought was a phenomenal performance. You know, George tonight, he's had a great performance. You know, Paul's going to come back. I know he'll come back. I know he's got the gumption to do so, and he's certainly have the support to do it. We've been on a roll. We've been on a roll with some fabulous fights, great promotions, taken around the country. Some of the best shows I've been involved with for a long, long time. and there'll be many more to come.
Great displaying around there, Rick. Any plans to have a celebration back in Scotland?
Yeah, I don't really like much anyway, so we'll probably go on a couple of weeks off, just take some time out, and then back in the gym.
When you think what we've got, next year, the first 3 months of next year, Nathan Clever's going to be out, defend his title, Tony Belling's going to be out again. That was a fabulous fight. That's going to be a rematch down the road. We've got, many more are going to be there. George, James, all of them are going to be out fighting. So it's fabulous for British boxing. Fabulous time. Good fights, good quality fights, and we're going to keep delivering. And you're only going to see them on Box Nation.
George,
Which gets encrypted, just so you know, you're getting it for free at the moment. 30th of November, you've got to start playing.
Durrell was talking about you respectfully the other day, but sort of saying that's you've got a lot of time for him to be made. What are your thoughts on that? A way of building towards it?
Yeah, definitely. Durrell's a great fighter. Spent many rounds sparring with him, and it was a bit of an eye-opener for me because I feel he's an elite fighter. He's in the super middleweight division, and I'd sparred with Froch before, and then getting more rounds with Durrell, who showed up and wanted to take my head off. Believe me, it was real sparring. So if you want to be the best in the world, at some point you have to cross paths with these guys. So I don't know what his game plan is, but
you've got to look how many fights they've had. He's had, and look how many fights with James DeGale's had. Look how they're. It's funny. I was watching tonight. I was thinking as we were sitting there, I thought to myself, here's guys fighting title fights. Was it 12 fights, 13, 14 fights? Years ago, when I first started the game, British Championship, to fight at British Championship level, you'd have 25 fights or so. Now it's just in, and it's at a real high competitive work rate you see in fights. I mean, it's years ago, I remember the old instructors go out and feel them out for a couple of rounds, see how you go. Now the bell goes, everybody gets straight down on it, and in some ways, the guys are not getting, I don't think sometimes they're getting the schooling that they used to get from years ago, because it's being pushed, the level's being pushed all the time.
Is that dangerous, Frank? Because this time last year we were at press conferences talking about Derek's fight against Vladimir Klitschko, and then he went in with Tyson Fury and lost. And
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. It's a valid point. But the thing is with Derek, you got to remember, before he fought Tyson Fury, he was out in the ring for a year, training off, on, and then came in ridiculously overweight and gave, in my opinion, and I'm not taking a thing away from Tyson Fury, because he trained really well and he deserved the win because he done what he had to do. But Derek just didn't, he shouldn't have been the weight he was. And did he go in a bit? But, they were offering Tyson Fury the shot against the Klitschko's. And they're doing that because I think they're running out of people to fight. But it's happening, it's happening now. People are fighting for titles much quicker in their careers than they did years ago. But maybe, I don't know whether they're fitter or they're stronger. It's different, different. Their bodies are different nutrition, different methods, and so forth. But that is what's happening. And one thing that you do worry about is, are they picking up the experience before they get to that level?